Stearman. It's a World War II pilot trainer, basically, open cockpit biplane. He had two of them. I was up in both of them as a young man and as a boy. It's a pretty wild ride if you've ever been in one. So this is part 3 of the big liquidation sale, and finally going to get to the shop. I know all the guys have kind of been waiting for this one, so let's unlock, go inside. I'm going to open a couple doors because it's pretty dark in there, and I'll show you what's in there. Some pretty cool stuff. Hi everyone, and welcome to Glacier Trading Company. I've been a professional buyer for most of my adult life. I'm Craig. Join me from my remote northern location as I buy and sell antiques, collectibles, and vintage from interesting locations and from interesting people, and resell those items online. I buy from auctions, estate liquidations, stores, and from folks that just look me up and simply ask if I want to buy their items. Hang out with me for a bit and see what I got this week, and meet some of the local wildlife that live in my backyard. Let's get to it. So this shop has basically been abandoned for a few years. It's kind of lately just a catch-all. My uncle was a pilot, and he was 96 when he passed. So it's been a while since he's come out here and worked on stuff. But I'm just going to kind of run through here real quick with the camera, show you some of the cool stuff. His in-laws had that from probably like the 1920s. Some of the riggings have let loose, but it's still pretty cool. There's a lot of airplane trinkets in here. He actually built a late 40s Taylor craft in here. Some 1950s furniture from his house in Chicago. Pretty cool old drafting board from our family business. And again, there's airplane memorabilia everywhere. It's on the walls. It's hanging from the ceiling. Looks like a de Havilland, maybe. And there's even a pottery puffer fish, I think, hanging from the ceiling. I don't know what that is. All kinds of aviation things. Cool old chest. There's a vacuum cleaner. Looks like a rocket pack. All these old photographs. And that's the kind of plane that got a couple of these. It's a Stearman. It's a World War II pilot trainer, basically. Open cockpit biplane. He had two of them. I was up in both of them as a young man and as a boy. It's a pretty wild ride if you've ever been in one. Benches, tools. This desk was his in-laws from back in the 1920s. Quite the trucker hat collection. Some of these signs on the wall are actually porcelains. Great big old monstrous tool bench. Pretty cool vintage pictures from him and some of the planes that he flew back in the 1960s. His Stearman right there. Found some cool old gauges. All airplane gauges. Real old planes. Not airplanes, wood planes. That one shared shared that crate, looks like with some mice. Looks like it shared maybe with some squirrels, actually. They look like all acorns. And of course, there's all kinds of your typical lawn equipment. Cherry picker for pulling an engine. Leaf blower. Some vintage military jerry cans. In World War II, that's what all he wanted to do is fly one of those. He was in World War II just at the very end of the war. Garrison hats, gloves. Well, spats. There's some pretty cool, ordinary things too. I think that bench is really neat. That'd be a quick refinish job. But this mid-century chair, we had that exact chair in our house in Chicago when I was a kid. And this chair is pretty cool too, but I really like this. Really like this bench or this shelf. It's a really cool old bookshelf with the scallops on the side. So it looks like we're still scheduled to go live May 8th, 2023 at 7 p.m. And the auction is going to run for a week. And it'll be all the contents in the house you've seen in the first 2 videos that I had, and then the contents of this room too. So we're supposed to start tearing into it later this afternoon and through the weekend. And I'm sure we're going to uncover a lot of cool stuff in here. You know, the aviation stuff is neat because a lot of it's really old. And all the accessories and paraphernalia that go along with that, even just like his little signs and his license plates and things like that. But there's just a ton of old tools and household stuff too that we'll find in here. And stay with us. We'll have more of this when we get closer to the end of putting all this stuff in boxes and in lots so we can put it up for auction. And the auction will run a week. It'll terminate on May 15th at 7 o'clock is when things start closing out. And each lot will have a 2-minute soft close. That means if you and somebody else are bidding on an item and say you're at $20, if you're the last bidder and you put in your bid of $20, the clock will tick down 2 minutes. And it gives the other bidder a chance to, you know, jump back in. And if he doesn't, then you buy it for $20. It's absolute. I think there's only one reserve on all the things that we have in this sale, and that's the violin. So it's pretty much last man standing owns it. And you can register. I'll put a link. You can register right on the site, get your information. You bid online from home. When you buy it, you either come and pick it up, or they can ship most of the stuff to you too. So there's that option. So more to come. I'll fire this up again when we get some boxes loaded with stuff. You guys ever try to get a 19th century organ turned into a desk out of door? There's the roll top. There's the desktop. It's literally like they built the house around it, and all the panels that are removable. They were removable so the organ could be serviced. We don't know how to get out of the house now, so I guess we're going in. Oh, when I get to the other side, it's going to teeter-totter, isn't it?
Yeah. Stand on it.
2 grown people, more or less.
Okay, at this point, I think we have to try to do this.
Yeah, no doubt. And we only got 2 steps, and then the 50-yard dash. Are you ready?
Yep, here we go.
Okay, 3 hours and 12 minutes later, we made it 6 feet. That's some serious oak they made this thing out of. And look how little of the shell we're actually hoisting around here. Wow. Oh, well, you know what? We might want to make a spot where this thing ends up right now. Whew.
You've seen Calvin's class.
All right, we're going to go to lunch. We'll catch you later. Sorry, I know you can't move. assembly of this thing. This section with the cubbies is one piece. It pretty much just slides out the back and lifts out. And then the whole roll top section was very cleverly built. My uncle's a smart guy. He cut out the cavity for it, took this off of another old oak roll top and slid it in like a drawer, and then it's anchored in the back. I'm gonna get the roll top now and fit it back in. This is certainly easier with two people, but it's not impossible to do it by yourself. There's a track up here that comes all the way down. So the lock end goes in first. If you had a great big door in your house, you wouldn't have to take this apart. But the front door in this house is just a mortal sized door. It's not anything crazy. My old house, I had double doors, and then I also had glass sliders, so there's a number of different ways I could get this in. Beautiful. This is pretty clever. Back in the day, these gorgeous oak panels. Look at that. They made them with very simple latching system, and it's all the way around. The whole back comes off like this, section by section like this. And for servicing the organ, because this was a bellow, it was a reed organ. About the time they got this, it had been converted to an electric air pump. I remember in the church when they used to turn this on, you hear just a big whoosh of air. That's all it holds on. And the top just sets on. And this is the front here. That's it. All the stuff that's in the shop, I was going to try to get back up there again and shoot what it looks like all in lots, but it's already online now. The auction started. It's actually something you can go log into, sign into, get all your information in there, and you can go right to the page and start bidding on things if you want. Big shout out to North Central Sales out of Anawa, Wisconsin, ANIWA, Wisconsin. Those guys really made it happen for us, and we're super, super grateful. I think it's going to be a really good sale. There's over 600 lots for you to check out. And you can go to www.northcentralsales.com, check out their website, see all the different things that they have up for auction right now. Not only our auction, but other auctions. And if you're in central Wisconsin and you need to have an auction, those are the guys to call. So again, big thanks to them. I think what I'm going to do is flip this around, and I'll try to walk you through the sign-up procedure for the sale. So this is the landing page for www.northcentralsales.com. Go to upcoming auctions, and you can scroll through all the auctions that they're having. This is ours, the William and Janet Johnson Estate Auction. So to register, you click on Register to Bid. Auction details are here. And the catalog is on the bottom right here. And you just scroll down. They have the terms, and then you can start to see the lots. And when you bid, you're going to hit bid, and it's incremental. It starts off, I think, at a dollar now, and if you want to bid, it's going to be, if it's already at $1, I think they go in 25 or 50 cent increments. until you hit a certain point, and then I think they jump by $2.50 increments. But that's really the long and the short of it. The only thing that's kind of tricky about it is when you get to the end and the auctions are closing out, because like I said before, it's a soft close. So at 7 o'clock on May 15th, 2023, each one of these lots will start to close out. And the two high bidders are going back and forth to each other. Each time there's a bid, the clock goes back 2 minutes to allow the other bidder a chance to come back and counter your bid. If nobody bids and it closes out, the high bidder is the winner. If you're bidding on multiple things, be aware. If you get, let's say you're on these plates and you get tied up with another buyer, other things that you're watching and want to buy will be scrolling up underneath it. Like they'll be coming up. The auction's closed. It moves pretty quick. The screen just keeps going up and up and up, as these things, the one right here closes out, it's gone. That one will take its place until that one's closed out, and then it's gone, and then that one takes its place, and so on and so forth. So you want to be careful if you're bidding on multiple things to scroll down a little bit and find out that your other item that you're watching isn't closing out, and you're unaware of it because you're up here battling for something that you want. Anyway, it's about as simple as that. When you register to bid, it's going to ask your name and address, city, state, zip, all that stuff. Make sure your address is exactly correct. Because if they go to ship something to you and your address is incorrect, guess what happens to your stuff? It ends up somewhere it shouldn't be. And the auction company only knows to ship using the information that you have provided. So just make sure you're real accurate with that. And that's it. From that point on, you're just going to sign in, username, password, which you establish when you register. That's it. And then every time you want to go on and check the status of the stuff that you're watching, you can have a watch list. A lot of times, just to make sure everything is working, somebody will throw, like me, if there's something I want to bid, if I want to bid on this, I'll throw $1 bid in on it, just to make sure that there's no glitches with anything with my credit card or anything like that. Everything is lined up and ready to go. So that's really all there is to it. It's follow the prompts. It's very simple to do. It takes very little thought to get you to where you need to go to navigate this site. It's really just register, sign in, username, password, go look at lots, and when you find the ones you want, you can either have them put on a bid list that you're bidding on, or you can just have a watch list just by here, let me show you how that's done. So let's say you want to watch this print here right there. All you do is hit the star, and it brings up, they want your username, your password. You put in your username, password, you hit log on, and then by pushing that little star on anything that you're interested, it puts that on a watch list for you. Otherwise, when you're actively bidding, let's say I just want to put $1 in on that, then it comes up on a list that is your bid list. And a lot of people just like tracking the stuff that they're interested in. It just makes it a whole lot easier because it's a little overwhelming trying to keep track of 600 lots. So those are two easy, quick ways to follow what you love. If there's stuff that you want to see, you can either put in a little tiny bid of 50 cents or whatever just to have that pop up on your bid list, or you push the little star and it dumps it into your watch list. And that way you don't have to look at 600 items. If you're only interested in 12 things and they're all on your watch list, now you're only paying attention to 12 things. It's just super simple. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've been watching TV and bidding on things because I just have, a few things that I really just can't live without. Anyway, that's just a quick tutorial on how to get through that. It's real easy to navigate.